So, hi friends, I'm Dr. Anshul Bansal, again joining you on this Unacademy platform. In today's special class, we'll discuss very important images in orthopedics. So, it will be a rapid revision marathon type of session where we'll discuss entire orthopedics, almost entire orthopedics in images, especially for the INICT and the FMG aspirants for this year's. It will be a very high yielding topic, okay, and you will not get bored because you will see lots of clinical images, okay, and this will be very important for your INICT and FMG examination, okay. So we'll discuss this in today's session. Currently I'm working as an orthopedic house surgeon in SMS Hospital Jaipur, and I have cracked this NEET PG examination last year, that is in 2020. And here we'll study in-depth orthopedics so that not only you can crack your NEET PG, INICT, FMG like competitive examinations, but also you can do well in your prof or university examinations. And we will have special focus on the image based learning, the X-ray, CTs, MRI, and especially the clinical based questions and the clinical scenarios. We'll cover it all, keeping in mind your coming next type of examination and your newer NEET PG pattern. Okay, so let's start today's session. And before starting today's session, I will just briefly guide you about various subscription plans that are available for the NEET PG on an academy. The first one is your plus subscription plan. The plus subscribers will get access to all our live as well as recorded classes. They can compete in live tests and quizzes, and they can access our entire assess. They will have the access to our entire Q bank, all of which is formed by the topmost faculty for the NEET PG in India. And also will allow the subscribers to log into multiple devices with the same account so that they can study on any device of their choice at any time. And also we will be providing the printed notes to the subscribers who will be subscribing for 12 months or more. And while subscribing, you can use this code, that is Anshul B10, to get extra 10% off. The second one and the best one is your iconic subscription. It is best not only on the Unacademy platform but across any digital platform for the NEET PG in India. And what makes this best is that apart from the things that I've told you earlier, in Extra Me you will get the prep letter and all of the prep letter, including all of its Q banks, the rapid revision courses, the video lectures, the grand test, live quizzes, etc. Everything will be there. And on an academy Extra Me, you will get well structured live batch wise classes, and we have structured a course and formulated our batches in such a way so as to build your basic concept about your subject or topic first, then going into its in depth. Also, after every test, you will be given an individual assessment sheet of that test so that you can analyze yourself. Ki, yes, this topic or this subject needs more revision, or what are the things am I not covering in my revision, और इस subject या इस topic में से which are the most important things that are asked frequently and how the questions are framing. Okay, so all these are very important for your preparation for any competitive examination, and iconic subscription will have all of this. So you can use my code, that is Anshul B10, to get extra 10% off while subscribing for these courses. Special classes are very special. I always tell my students to please attend these special classes because they'll give you extra edge over your competitors. And also you can have live classroom like feel, because almost everybody is preparing through the digital platform. So here you can interact with the educators in the live classes. You can solve your doubts there and there only. You can participate in polls. You can attend the class anywhere, anytime. What you have to do, just download the mobile application of the Unacademy and log in through my code, both of which are absolutely free. Okay, so please do attend the app special classes. And we have launched a new feature called raise a hand feature, where you can just tap on a button and you can digitally raise your hand so that the educator will know about your doubts, and you can solve your doubts there and there only. And this is a very important and good feature because This will increase the participation of the learners in the live classes. It will increase the two-way communication in our classes. So it is very good feature. And also you should subscribe for QBank. A QBank has everything. Quantity wise, you will have 25,000 plus questions. You will not need to go anywhere for solving the questions. And also quality wise, our QBank is top notch. It contains everything. The entire theory will be covered. The recent questions, the past examinations recall questions, the high yield MCQs, okay, the recent advances, the images, the x-ray, CTs, MRIs, the clinical based scenarios, instruments, everything will be there. Every type of question will be there in a QBank. So please do subscribe for QBank and solve it before going to your examination. And while subscribing for the QBank, you can use my code, that is Anshul B10, to get extra 10% off. Now in October, we are having two grand tests, both of which are absolutely free. The first grand test is for the FMG aspirants. The examination is in December and it is on 17th October between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And second one is for the INICT aspirants, which is in November, and it is also on 17th October between 2 to 5 p.m., and both of which are absolutely free. So please do go for these grand tests, and think it like this way, that 3 hours of giving the examination and 3 hours of reading the explanation and the analysis part. In 6 hours you can revise or prepare the top most important 200 topics for the INICT and the 300 topics for the FMG. So think it like this way, it will be very high yielding for you. So please do give the grand test. And keeping in mind the different sets of students who are preparing for different examination, like some will be preparing for 2023 examinations. So we have started a batch dedicated to the 2023 aspirants. Similarly, for the next year's NEET PG, that is 2022, we have started a separate batch for them, both from the 13th of the October. And a very important, a very interesting clinical case discussions and instrument batch is also started from 13th of the October. In this, all the things that you read theoretically, sometimes it is boring, and also it is hard to understand the things. But जो भी चीज आप थ्योरी में पढ़ते हो, if you see that thing in a patient, or if you see that thing clinically कि yes, जो मैंने बुक में पढ़ा था वो clinically ऐसा दिखता है, then you will never forget that thing. Revision will be easy, concepts बहुत अच्छे से build up होंगे, and most importantly it will generate your interest towards your study or your topic and the subject. And interest के साथ पढ़ाई करना is very important to crack any type of examination. So you can subscribe for any of these courses, and while subscribing you can use this code to get extra 10% off. Here are the subscription plans for an iconic as well as plus subscriptions, and here you can see that the cost per month decreases significantly if you increase the duration of your course. Okay, so economically bhi acha hai, and secondly academically also it will be better for you if you go for longer duration, because you need to have a single source of information for your notes or your study material from the word go. And if you change the source, and if you study different topics or subjects from different platforms, you will be wasting your time, and it will be very difficult for you to remember and revise the things and conceptualize your studies. So economically and academically both it is better. So I will suggest you to subscribe for plans with longer duration, and you can use this code while subscribing for any of the plans to get extra 10% off. Okay, so let's start today's lecture. And before starting, I would just briefly guide you what will be the pattern of today's lecture. I'll give you an image, then I'll give you a few time, so you can write the answer. It will not be MCQ, it will be a more of a viva voice kind of a thing where you have to write the answer कि yes ये image किससे related है, and then we'll discuss it. Okay, so the first image is this. So which, for which fracture you use this kind of brace? Okay, so I'll give you 15 seconds. You can write your answer in the chat box. Okay, uh, this is figure of 8 bandage. Okay, this is figure of 8 bandage, and it is used for fracture of clavicle. Okay, in for fracture of scapula you use a simple elbow immobilizer, or the shoulder immobilizer, or you can also call it as the pouch arm. Okay, okay, like this. You need to just immobilize the patient in this way. Okay, for the scapula. So this is for the clavicle, not for the scapula. Very important and very easy. uh, it is asked many a time. So that is this is figure of 8 bandage. Scapula में एक और important चीज that you need to remember is that the most common location. Okay, so most common location में दो different types of questions are asked. So most common location is first, junction of middle one third and outer or the lateral one third, or मिडिल वन थर्ड. ओके, सो दो टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, बट दोनों ही आंसर्स आर करेक्ट. बट इन ऑप्शन, इफ बोथ options are given, then which would be the correct answer? Okay, then agar both options are given, junction of middle and the outer one third and the middle one third proper, then the correct answer for this question will be your junction of middle one third and the outer one third. Okay, so always remember this thing also. And इसमें classification use होता है, that is Allman classification. Just remember the name. Most common cause is trauma, and malunion is very common. Okay, but malunion में you don't need to do any intervention etc, because it will be just for the cosmetic malunion. Okay, and generally nothing has to be done. And fracture clavicle, if it is closed, it is most commonly almost always managed conservatively with the help of figure of 8 bandage, that is your clavicle brace. Okay, so this is your proximal humerus की anatomy. इसमें anatomical neck and surgical neck में differentiation you need to know. So सबसे पहले A alphabetically पहले आएगा, तो anatomical neck will be ऊपर, surgical neck will be नीचे. Okay, see this and this posterior lateral जो बड़ा है, this is your greater tuberosity, and this is your lesser tuberosity. So greater tuberosity and lesser tuberosity को separate करता है head of the humerus से. There is a line which is called as the anatomical neck, and between the shaft and these two tuberosities there is another line, imaginary line, which is called as the surgical neck. And surgical neck is the most common site of fractures among both types of neck fractures, and mostly the fracture is in the elderly population. Okay, remember this, mostly the fracture is in the elderly population. And between this greater and the lesser tuberosity there is a groove called as the bicipital groove for the biceps tendon. Okay, now this type of cast is used for fracture of which bone? Okay, fracture of which bone? Okay, so you can write your answer in the chat box. Okay, there is one hint that it is used for fracture of proximal humerus. A proximal humerus may be which part के fracture में it is used. Okay, now type your answer. So this type of cast is used for fracture of greater tuberosity or the GT. Okay, and this fracture is mostly displaced, and this fracture is displaced because of the pull of, because यहाँ पे बहुत important एक muscles का attachment होता है, group of muscles का, that is rotator cuff muscles. Okay, at the GT, and rotator cuff में भी किस muscle का सबसे important attachment है? It is supraspinatus. Okay, rotator cuff में you have four muscles. Okay, rotator cuff में you have four muscles. Rotator cuff, you have four muscles. First is your supraspinatus, ऐसे याद रखना है, SS supraspinatus. अब supraspinatus आया है तो infraspinatus भी आएगा, तो IS, that is infraspinatus, and there is one more SS. तो एक बार सुप्रा आ गया है तो अब आएगा सब scapularis. Okay, and now fourth is your teres minor. Okay, remember this is important. And fracture surgical head of the humerus में again you'll go for the typical U slab, which is used for the fracture of the humerus. Okay, fracture humerus में you go for the U slab. And how you form the U slab? See, like this. Okay, you start from you put the slab from the nape of the neck, you then go in the lateral direction here, the slab, and then you cover the elbow and you wind around elbow like this, and then you come only till the distal 1/3 of your arm. Okay, from here, from here to here, then going around the elbow till here. This is your U slab, which is used for the fracture of humerus, especially for the fracture of the proximal humerus. Okay, and if the fracture is in the distal 1/3 of the humerus, you can use this U slab, but a more better slab will be your hanging slab or hanging cast. Okay, now slab and cast में क्या difference होता है? Slab is just giving a POP support at the posterior aspect of one aspect. Okay, that is your slab. In cast, the entire, all the directions, all the compartments will be covered with the POP. Okay, so starting में for 7 to 10 days you put slab in any type of fracture, then you convert it into the cast. Why? Because in the starting 7 to 10 days swelling बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, and there are high chances of compartment syndrome etc. Okay, so आप पहले से ही cast कर दोगे, so there will be very high chances due to the swelling of compartment syndromes. That's why for the first 7 to 10 days you keep any type of fracture in slab, then you convert it into the cast. Okay, remember this. Okay, now this is a test used in shoulder dislocation diagnosis. Okay, identify the test or name the test. Okay, which is this test? Very important. Okay, so this is called as the Dugas test. Okay, normally what happens ki like this, with this arm ki fingers or with this limb ki fingers, I would be very easily able to touch the fingers of this this limb to the tip of the shoulder of the opposite limb like this. But in if there is any dislocation of this shoulder joint, I will not be able to touch my fingers of the opposite shoulder tip. Okay, this is called as the Dugas test for the shoulder dislocation, and that too for the anterior dislocation. Okay, so yaad rakhna, most common joint to get dislocated in the body is your shoulder dislocation, followed by the hip dislocation, शोल्डर डिसलोकेशन में मोस्ट कॉमन इज योर एंटीरियर डिसलोकेशन एंड इसमें भी मोस्ट कॉमन इज योर सब कोरेकॉइड टाइप ऑफ एंटीरियर डिसलोकेशन एंड हिप में मोस्ट कॉमन इज योर पोस्टीरियर डिसलोकेशन. Okay, remember now dislocation के लिए first is your Dugas test and there is another test which is called as the Hamilton, sorry, another test which is called as the Hamilton ruler test. Okay, so generally what happens that generally if you keep the shoulder like this, so there is a rounded contour at the lateral side. So if you put an instep here, you will not be able to keep the instep in a single straight line. But in case of shoulder dislocation, this rounded contour is lost, so you will be able to keep the instep or the ruler in a straight line. So this is your Hamilton ruler test. And in any type of dislocation, the treatment of choice is your closed reduction, then maintaining it uh, in that reduced state by immobilization, like traction in case of hip and shoulder immobilizer, or the pouch arm in case of shoulder dislocation. Okay, so this is a technique used for shoulder dislocation. Okay, now the question is identify or name the technique of closed reduction. Okay, if you know, you can just type your answer in the chat box. Okay, so this is your Hippocrates maneuver used for the close reduction in case of fracture dislocation. And इसमें you do it like this कि you give a sustained traction. कोई सा भी reduction करने के लिए first of all you need to give the sustained traction to that limb at least for the 5 to 10 minutes. Why? Okay, because to relax the muscles so that the maneuver is easy. Okay, so this is, and in Hippocrates maneuver you give the force with your leg or the lower limb in the axilla. Sorry. Okay, this is your Hippocrates maneuver and this is the maneuver of choice in case if there is dislocation of the shoulder with fracture of GT or avulsion of the greater tuberosity. Whereas in all other conditions, the maneuver of choice is not your Hippocrates. It is first maneuver you should perform is that called as the Kocher's maneuver. Okay, and Kocher's maneuver may you can remember it by T1. See like this. Okay, firstly you will give the traction. Okay, you will give the traction like this. Okay, you will give the traction like this for 5 to 10 minutes. Then you'll do the external you'll do the external rotation at the shoulder joint, external rotation. Okay, then you'll do the adduction. Okay, so first you'll do the external rotation, then the adduction, then the arm is internally rotated like this. Okay, so you'll hear a click sound. Okay, and in all these steps traction आपको लगा के रखना पड़ेगा and you will require one or two assistants with you. Okay, so this is your Kocher's maneuver called as T1 के नाम T I के नाम से T1 के नाम से you can just remember it by this mnemonic. Okay, and elbow में now this is very important, the three bony point relationship. Okay, look here you can see if you flex the elbow like this, you can feel the three prominent bony structures in the elbow. That tip is your olecranon, medial condyle and lateral condyle of your humerus, and if you join these 3 points, they form the isosceles triangle, whereas in extension they'll come in line and they will not be felt so easily, and there will be no three bony point relationship in case of extension. Now there is fourth bony point, which is called as, which is radial head. And how you can feel this fourth bony point? Okay, in semi flexed elbow lateral side mein, just below this prominent lateral condyle. Okay, first you flex the elbow, you can feel that this is the tip of the lateral condyle. Okay, this is your lateral condyle tip, then you semi flex, and just posterior just in the lateral posterior direction and below it you can feel this humeral head. And if you'll do the pronation supination, you can easily feel your radial head like this. Okay, if you'll do this, you can easily feel your lateral head, radial head. So this is your fourth bony point called as the radial head. Now my next question is, if there is fracture supracondylar humerus, then this bony point relationship will be maintained or not maintained. Okay, maintained or not maintained. Okay, so in supracondylar fracture of humerus, this bony point relationship will be maintained, but in case of single condyle like lateral condyle or medial condyle or the fracture of the oligoclone, this will not be maintained, and dislocation this will be reversed. But very important, in supracondylar fracture of the humerus, this bony point relationship will be maintained. Okay, very important, remember this hamesha. Okay. Now next question, which nerve is tested by the sign? Okay, which nerve is tested by this sign? Okay, yes, the correct answer is the median nerve. Okay, and this sign is called as the pointing index or the Ochsner's clasp sign. And my next question here will be, key, it is used for testing which muscle supplied by the median nerve? It is used for testing flexor digitorum superficialis and the lateral part of the flexor digitorum profundus. And if the median nerve is injured, then there will not be flexion of the digits, especially in the median nerve supply किसको करती है? The thumb, index finger and your middle finger. So usme, but only other fingers can be flexed due to its medial half of the flexor digitorum profundus, which is supplied by the ulnar nerve. Okay, so all extensors supplied by the of the forearm की बात कर रहे हैं अपन, by the radial nerve, all flexors supplied by the median nerve, but there is a catch, which is except two muscles. First is flexor digitorum profundus का medial part and flexor carpi ulnaris. These two are supplied by the ulnar nerve. Okay, these two are supplied by the ulnar nerve. Okay, so remember this thing, this is very very important. And median nerve mein you will have the pointing index or the Ochsner's clasp sign. Okay, now which deformity is this? Okay, very important, identify the deformity. and in which fracture you will have this deformity. Okay, this is your cubitus varus or the gunstock deformity, useful for the fracture of supracondylar humerus, and it is the most common complication of the supracondylar humerus, and it is in C, that is malunion of the supracondylar humerus. This is your gunstock deformity. Here you can see the cubitus varus or your gunstock deformity. Okay, so this is your carrying angle. Okay, carrying angle is important for examination. Okay, this is an angle between the long axis of the humerus and the long axis of ulna. Okay, humerus and ulna ke long axis pe there is an angle, this angle which is called as the carrying angle. In males it is 12 degrees around, and in females it is around 15 degrees. And agar ye angle it is decreased, then the okay, if this angle is decreased like this is your cubitus varus and increase valgus. तो याद रखना valgus में L आ रहा है यानी lateral तरफ जाएगा. Okay, so this will be a cubitus valgus deformity. Okay, now supracondylar fracture of humerus is very important for examination point of view. Most common is in children due to fall on an outstretched hand. Okay, and why it is important? Because most common complication is the malunion, which is the late complication, and it will lead to the gunstock deformity or the cubitus varus deformity. But the question, if it is asking most common early complication of supracondylar fracture of humerus, then it will be median nerve palsy. Okay, and median nerve अगर ऑप्शन में नहीं है, then the second most common nerve is your radial nerve palsy. Radial nerve के लिए wrist drop, and median nerve के लिए that pointing index that we have discussed right now. Okay, and what will be the treatment of choice? Treatment of choice in case of supracondylar fracture of humerus closed is closed reduction with K wire fixation, यानी कि close reduction and internal fixation. And close reduction के बाद if it is not reduced properly, then you can go for the open reduction internal fixation, and यहाँ पे भी for internal fixation you will use the K wires. Okay, यहाँ पे exact reduction is very important, because otherwise there will be malunion and the child will go into cubitus varus or the gunstock deformity. Okay, now gunstock deformity जो होती है, cubitus varus deformity जो होती है, it is generally only cosmetic. Okay, functional impairment जो होता है that could be corrected with the physiotherapy and proper exercises. Okay, but अगर it is largely impairing the functional ability of the patient or the child, then you have to go for the osteotomy. and यहाँ पे एक osteotomy करते हैं जिसका एक specific name है जो आपको याद रखनी है, and that is your French osteotomy. Okay, that is your French osteotomy. Okay, just remember this in case of supracondylar fracture of humerus. Okay, now which name this deformity? Name this deformity. No, this is not ulnar nerve palsy. This is your Volkmann ischemic contracture. Now, it is looking like wrist drop, but it is not wrist drop. Why? Because सबसे पहले there is this deformity here, and also you can see the atrophic changes in the arm. Okay, so the deformity is Volkmann ischemic contracture by following Volkmann ischemia or the compartment syndrome. Okay, and इसमें क्या होता है, the flexor compartment is affected. Okay, then the healing will be the fibrosis, and there will be fibrous band which will lead to this type of contracture. Okay, so यहाँ इसको टेस्ट कैसे करते हैं, इसको टेस्ट करते हैं very simple test. If you want to extend your fingers, finger extension करना है, then your wrist should be flexed, and if your fingers are flexed, then your wrist cannot be flexed. Okay, this is simple test for the Volkmann ischemic contracture of the flexor muscles after the Volkmann ischemia or the compartment syndrome following fractures of the both bone forearm or any fracture in the forearm. Okay, so very important, just remember this. Okay, and the treatment is your physiotherapy with the help of Volkmann is or the turnbuckle splint. Okay, Volkmann or the turnbuckle splint, here you can see, here this is your Volkmann splint or the turnbuckle splint. Okay, now identify the deformity and the fracture in which it occurs. Yes, this is called your dinner fork deformity due to malunited fracture, Colles fracture. Okay, malunited Colles fracture, dinner fork deformity. Okay, now Colles fracture को याद रखने का तरीका है, C के बाद क्या आता है, D आता है. Okay, so D यानी this is fracture of distal end of the radius which is not intra-articular, and the fragmented segment or the distal segment will be tilted or displaced towards the D yani dorsal side. Okay, D yani dorsal side. This is your ventral aspect or the anterior aspect, and this is your dorsal or the posterior aspect. So dorsal aspect, if there is tilt, this is called as your Colles fracture. Non-intra-articular distal end radius, similarly due to fall on the outstretched hand. In the elderly population, dinner fork deformity होता है, close reduction. And cast कैसे लगाते हैं, we'll see. Colles cast is an important cast for the examination purpose. And in Smith fracture, it is just ulta of Colles fracture. जो similarities है, that is dinner distal end radius होगा, non intra-articular होगा. It will be due to fall on an inward stretched hand like this. Okay, agar if you fall like this, okay, if you will fall like this in outstretched hand, or if you will fall like this, there will be Smith fracture, and here the displacement of the distal fragment or the fractured fragment will be ventrally or anteriorly. Okay, so this is called as your Smith fracture. Okay, this is called as your Smith fracture. And there is another fracture of the distal end radius called as the Barton fracture. इसमें first of all, this is intra-articular fracture of distal end radius. Okay, there will be displacement, and एक और important aspect जो है, there will be displacement or injury to the carpal bones in this, and it will be intra-articular. Very important, this is your Barton's fracture. Okay, now the close reduction of Colles fracture is very important. तो इसके लिए what you do, इसके लिए shaking hand position में you like see, if the fracture is here, okay, of my Colles fracture. Sorry, I'm not well today. Okay, so if this is the fracture here, then you need to hold the hand in a shaking hand way like this, and you need to give the traction. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes ka sustained traction you need to give. And after giving, while giving the traction, then you need to just first of all disengage the fracture sites, okay, by this flexion, okay. Then by feeling the bony points, then you will reduce it, and you will keep the hand in ulnar deviation, okay. Very important, palmar flexion and ulnar deviation. Then you will apply the cast, which is called as the Colles cast, okay. So palmar deviation and ulnar flexion, and you will apply the Colles cast like this. So Colles cast is a below elbow cast, below elbow till the heads of the metacarpal, okay. This is your Colles cast in the palmar flexion and the ulnar deviation. Very important is your Colles cast, okay. Now identify the image, okay. And I can give you history. There was history of fracture Colles 2 months back, and was managed conservatively by the Colles cast for 2 months. Okay, now after 2 months removal ke baad the patient has this kind of picture with severe pain and tingling sensations. What is the diagnosis? Okay, so the answer for this question is your Sudex osteodystrophy. This is Sudex osteodystrophy, not due to compartment. Okay, it is Sudex osteodystrophy, also called as the complex regional pain syndrome, okay, or CRPS, and it is of two types, that is type 1 and type 2. Okay, so complex regional pain syndrome or Sudex dystrophy type 1 में there will be no nerve injury. It will be due to prolonged immobilization, tight casting, or due to any musculoskeletal injury. Okay, no nerve injury will be there. This type 1 is called as your sympathetic reflex sympathetic dystrophy. Okay, so this is your CRPS type 1 Sudex dystrophy. Whereas in type 2, there will be obvious nerve injury or a nerve cut, and this is called as the causalgia. Okay, इसको क्या बोलते हैं? This is called as the causalgia. Okay, very important. So Sudex dystrophy mein there are three phases. First is the acute phase, which lasts for around 3 months, and इसका जो pathognomic feature होता है, that is your pain, long lasting severe pain, very sensitive. The limb will be will be warm and red. The second phase is your dystrophic phase. It will be for 3 to 12 months, and the pathognomic feature for this will be your not pain, it will be your swelling. Okay, it will be your swelling, and here the pain come ho jayega, there will be the limb will become cold, cooler than in the acute phase, and there will be changes in the nails, etc., and the swelling. Whereas the third stage is your atrophic stage after 1 year. Okay, and नाम से पता चल रहा है यहाँ पे the pathognomic signs will be in the skin, where there will be dry scaling of the skin, etc., atrophy of the skin. This is your Sudex dystrophy. Okay, just remember this image. Okay, this is your Sudex dystrophy. Okay, now we'll come to this is a very important thing, that is your anatomical snub box. We'll discuss everything about it. Just a short question about this, ki which is the most common fracture whose pain radiates in anatomical snub box? Okay, This is my question. Yes, the correct answer is scaphoid fracture. Okay, this correct answer is scaphoid fracture. Okay, now you should know the boundaries and the contents. At least इतना आपको आना चाहिए. Okay, so first of all, boundaries in the medial seam, anatomical snuff box. Here you can feel the anatomical snuff box. If you will just this is your abduction, this is your adduction, so adduct your thumb like this, you can feel, and here it is the anatomical snuff box, which is why it is called a snuff box, because it is generally used by the uh, people who do drugs by snuffing through this part. Okay, so that's why it is called as the anatomical snuff box. Okay, and especially the smugglers also and the drug addicts. Okay, so medial border of this will be formed by the EPL, that is your extensor pollicis longus. At the lateral there will be extensor pollicis brevis and abductor pollicis longus. Okay, proximally there will be styloid process of radius, you can feel it, and floor पे there will be carpal bones etc. Okay, and content, artery, nerve, vein तीनों एक एक होती है. Most important content is your radial artery. Nerve में superficial branch of the radial nerve, and vein में you will have the cephalic vein, very important for the anatomical snuff box. Okay, now identify the deformity here in this finger. Okay, in this finger, in the middle finger. Only in single finger. Okay, let me give you options then. Okay, I'll give you three options. First is your jersey finger, second is your trigger finger, and third is your mallet finger. Okay, now what is the answer? So the answer is your mallet finger. Okay, ये पिक्चर याद रख लो. कोई सी भी दूसरी फिंगर डिफॉर्मिटी को याद रखने से पहले फर्स्ट चीज जो आपके हमेशा माइंड में आती है, दैट इज दिस पिक्चर एंड दिस इज योर मैलेट फिंगर. अगर इफ यू रिमेंबर दिस, देन यू कैन इजीली रिमेंबर ऑल अदर्स. ओके, सो this is your PIP, that is proximal this is your DIP, that is your distal interphalangeal joint, and this is your, okay, here you can see अच्छे से more, this is your DIP and this is your PIP, proximal interphalangeal joint, या कहीं पे लिखा हो middle interphalangeal joint, confuse मत हो जाना, ये भी यही है. And this is your metacarpophalangeal joint. Okay, now डिस्टल इंटरफेरेंजियल जॉइंट डीईपी पे इफ देयर इज फ्लेक्शन डिफॉर्मिटी कि उसका एक्सटेंशन नहीं हो पा रहा है, देन दिस इज योर मैलेट फिंगर. सो इफ देयर इज फ्लेक्शन डिफॉर्मिटी, एक्सटेंशन नहीं हो पाया, तो ऑब्वियसली देयर विल बी अ avulsion और rupture of the extensor tendons at the base of the distal phalanx. This is called as your mallet finger. Okay, and इसका opposite, if there is fracture or avulsion of the flexor tendons, so your finger will not be able to flex at the DIP. So this is called as your jersey finger. Here you can see सब flex हो जाएगी, बस ये एक flex नहीं हो पाएगी. This is your jersey finger. Okay, now you will say कि sir pointing index भी ऐसा ही था. ओके, सो बहुत इजी डायग्नोसिस है ये. क्लिनिकली जब आप पेशेंट देखते हो, देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड सच थिंग्स की in case of pointing index there will be no tenderness in the fingers. Okay, because injury यहाँ पे है ही नहीं. Whereas in case of jersey finger there is injury there will be injury in this affected finger, so there will be pain, tenderness in this finger. Okay, so that's why this will be the jersey finger. Okay, this is your jersey finger. Clear? Now we'll come to the trigger finger. Okay, now what happens is कि जो आपके flexor tendons होते हैं, they are attached and they are in a tunnel and they act in a pulley like of mechanism. So if there is some nodule formation, then due to that nodule there will be thickening of the tunnel. So if you will flex your finger, then your finger will get locked like this, like in the trigger. Jabki in the mallet as well as jersey finger mein, the only affected part is your DIP, whereas in trigger finger the affected part will be your metacarpophalangeal joint and your PIP, and first and the most common affected part will be your metacarpophalangeal joint. Okay, remember this. Okay, so here you'll have this trigger. So in the initial stages, if you manipulate it with yourself or the assistant, you can unlock this, but in later stages it will, the tunnel will be so thickened that you will not be able to manipulate it. So at that time you will need to surgically release this thickened tunnel. Okay, understand, this is your trigger finger. Now another thing is your skier's thumb or the gamekeeper's thumb. So इसके अंदर क्या होता है, if the patient falls or if the injury is in this, okay, the thumb is like this, and ऐसे if there is injury, okay, in force abduction के form में, so there will be first metacarpophalangeal joint पे, that is the thumb पे, there will be an avulsion fracture and there will be injury to a very very important ligament, that is your ulnar collateral ligament. Okay, किसकी इंजरी होगी, the injury will be of the ulnar collateral ligament. Very very important, gamekeeper's thumb or the skier's thumb. Okay, now very important, frequently asked, हर साल किसी ना किसी एक एग्जामिनेशन में पक्का से आता है, what is this, oh sorry, what is this classification? Okay, which is this classification? Yes, the correct answer is your Salter Harris classification. Okay, useful for the physeal और दी ग्रोथ प्लेट इंजरीज थी. जो ग्रोथ प्लेट होता है उसको यू से दी फाइसिस, एंड एपीफाइसिस ग्रोथ प्लेट से ऊपर वाला या नीचे वाला पार्ट होता है, दैट इज मोर टुवर्ड्स द जॉइंट, एंड द पार्ट which is away from the joint of the physis, that is called as your metaphysis. Okay, so growth plate or the epiphyseal injuries में के लिए you will have the Salter Harris classification. Okay, it is very very important and it is of 5 types. Okay, and now there is one 6th type where there is perichondral ring around the epiphysis. Just remember this. और रिंग टाइप बोलते हैं, दैट इज योर 6th टाइप. ओके, टाइप 1 2 3 4 and 5 will not go into the details, we are just discussing the images are. Okay, here you can see easily, and surgery is indicated and it is always required if the injury is type 3. Okay, type 3 injuries में surgery is always required, remember this. Okay, now there are 2 tests which are shown here. First is your Fallon's test, second is your Tinel's test. Okay, so these tests are used for which nerve and which syndrome of this nerve? Okay, okay, yes, this is used for testing carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, carpal tunnel. Oh, I have written already median nerve. Okay, sorry. Okay, median nerve and your carpal tunnel syndrome. Okay, you can see easily in the images कि this is your Fallon's test. Okay, Tinel's test, just tapping on the median nerve at the flexor retinaculum, and in all these there will be pain, tingling, numbness sensation in the thumb, index finger, and the middle finger. Okay, and after just 1 to 2 minutes you have to wait. And also, if carpal tunnel is due to compression of the median nerve below the flexor retinaculum. Okay, and इसके अलावा there is reverse Fallon's test also. This is your Fallon's test, this will be a reverse Fallon's test. And there is one tourniquet test for the carpal tunnel syndrome, which is also called as the Gilead test. Okay, remember this also. Okay, see Gilead test and the reverse Fallon test. Now, decurvant tenosynovitis के लिए you will have an important test which is called as the Finkelstein test. If you put the thumb inside and if you flex all of your fingers in form of fist, then if you say the patient to palmar flex and in the ulnar deviation, okay, in the ulnar or the medial deviation and palmar flex, then there will be severe pain, numbness and tingling at the radial side or the thumb ki side wala. This is your decurvant tenosynovitis or the Finkelstein test for the decurvant tenosynovitis. Okay, so these images are very important. Mallet finger we have discussed. Now Bottonier's deformity. So Bottonier's deformity में क्या होगा, जो PIP है, there will be flexion at the PIP and there will be hyperextension in the DIP like this. Okay, and in swan neck deformity there will be a S shape. Swan yani S, remember it, swan aa raha hai, so it will be a, there will be a finger will be in the S shape. So there will be क्या होगा, there will be flexion at the DIP whereas hyperextension at the PIP. This is your swan neck deformity, remember. Okay, very important, just remember. Okay, yes, APL, abductor pollicis longus, will be the most affected part. Okay, now the next question from my side will be ki, uh, if you are testing radial nerve, muscle supplied by the radial nerve, then which muscle is tested by the maneuver shown in the image? Okay, which muscle is tested if you are testing the muscle supplied by the radial nerve? So the answer for this is triceps, not supinator. Why? देखो सबसे पहले here you can see very easily कि hand is at the posterior arm, and so you are feeling the contractions of the muscle at the posterior aspect of the arm, that is your triceps. And also triceps को test कैसे करते हैं, its function is the extension of the elbow. So against resistance, if you extend the elbow, you can feel the contraction of the triceps. So this is the testing of the triceps muscle, remember. Okay, now next, okay, remember like this कि यहाँ से hold कर रखा है, and if you are flexed elbow को, if you are doing the unflexing and feeling the contractions, तो flexed elbow को unflex करते time you will feel the contraction of which muscle here at the forearm. Okay, forearm पे आप किस muscle के contraction को फील करोगे? जनरली यहाँ पे तो टेंडन आ जाता है, you feel it here somewhere. So which muscle? रेडियल नर्व टेस्ट कर रहे हैं, एफसीआर तो नहीं होगा. Then this will be a brachioradialis. Okay, सो रेडियल नर्व इंजरीज जो होती है उसमें यू कॉल इट बाय द डिफरेंट नेम्स. रिस्ट ड्रॉप हमेशा याद रखना रेडियल नर्व से. ओके, रिस्ट ड्रॉप is very important for the radial nerve, and names like the Saturday night palsy, honeymoon palsy, handcuff neuropathy, crutch paralysis, or the squash palsy. Okay, and this is your cock-up splint for the radial nerve, cock-up splint or the cock-up brace for the radial nerve injury or the wrist drop. This is your dynamic cock-up splint. Okay, dynamic cock-up splint hota hai, and this is your simple cock-up splint और दी स्टेबल कॉकअप स्प्लिंट भी बोलते हैं इसको. ओके, एंड नाउ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, नाउ ये सबसे पहले यू नीड टू, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट इज योर हैंड की nerve supply. So this is my only simple question before discussing it. The image that is shown is showing you which thing, the myotomes or the dermatomes. Okay, so this is myotomes or dermatomes. Yes, correct. This is your dermatomes, the skin supply or the sensory supply, the sensory innervation of the skin, that is your dermatomes. So here we are reading the dermatomes. Okay, now dermatomes में hand के बहुत important होते हैं. Okay, so I'll not tell you कि कौन सा कहाँ पे supply कर रहा है. I'll just tell you the color. Okay, green color, the blue color, and the pink color. Okay, so green color, 1.5 medial fingers in both anterior and posterior, that is your ulnar nerve. Blue color, the 3.5 fingers of the anterior and 3.5 fingers posterior mein till the nail bed or the proximal phalanx, this is your median nerve. And that pink part, 3.5 fingers posteriorly except the nail beds or the posterior phalanx, this will be your radial nerve. Okay, so remember like this, ye बहुत important hai. Okay, now I'll tell you about the dermatomes also. Now dermatomes जो होते हैं, they are the part of, they are the muscles which is supplied by the nerve roots. Okay, so if मान लो if there is L5 disc prolapse or disc herniation, or so L5 nerve root is affected, then how will you test ki there is L5 nerve root affected? Because pain will be sciatica like pain, there will be pain in the lower back ache, radiating neurological pain at the hip, knee, leg. Okay, and there will be muscle weakness etc. Sub hai, but how will you identify that it is L5? How? Okay, so L5 के लिए what you have, you need to now check the different dermatomes that are supplied by the specific nerve roots. So L5 में you will check the great toe extension. Okay, yes, you can check the ankle flexion also, but not the plantar flexion. You can check the dorsiflexion. Okay, dorsiflexion of the ankle and great toe extension. Zyada अच्छा is great toe. Why? Because dorsiflexion of the ankle is also done by the L4. Okay, and also S1 will be responsible for the plantar flexion of the ankle. Okay, so remember L5 के लिए great toe. Now if you'll come to the upper limb, so we'll discuss like this: C2, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, C8, and your T1. Okay, these are the myotomes. उसमें C1, 2, and 3, it is for the cervical region. This is for the cervical region, and इसमें भी C1 is for the extension, flexion, and the lateral flexion of the neck. Okay, cervical. C4 and C5 is for the shoulder, Okay, C4 is for the elevation of the shoulder. It is for the elevation of the shoulder, and C5 is for the abduction. C6, 7 is for the elbow, C6 for the extension, C7 for the flexion, C8 is for the thumb, and T1 is for the finger adduction abduction. Okay, so remember for the for the upper limb, and for the lower limb, what you have, L1, L2 is for the hip joint, L3 is for the knee, L4, L5 we have already discussed, that is ankle ka dorsiflexion, and most important is the L5, because here you will have the great toe extension also. S1 is for the plantar flexion, and rest sacrum wala will be related to the bladder and bowel functions. Okay, or the sphincter control. Now we'll come to the next image. Okay, which is the muscle examined and which is the nerve examined here. Muscle and the nerve, both. Yes, your answers are correct. Yes, the muscle is the flexor pollicis longus and the nerve is the median nerve, but this is not the pen test. Okay, but remember this is not the pen test. Pen test अपन आगे देखेंगे and उसमें कौन सी muscle होती है, that also we'll see. But remember, this is not the pen test. This is the flexor pollicis longus for the flexion of the PIP joint of the thumb, and you need to you can test it by resistance के against flexion कराने से, but not like this. No, this is not the way you should test this. First, you have to stabilize all the rest of the muscles. So you need to keep the hand at a table or at a surface, then you will test the muscle. Okay, so this is median nerve testing the flexor pollicis longus. Okay, now this is also a test for the median nerve. I'm giving you the hint. Test for the median nerve, where the patient flexes the wrist along the trajectory of the arm, and the wrist will deviates ulnarily, that is medially. Okay, and there is injury of the median nerve, and on flexing the wrist is deviating towards the ulnar side. Then which muscle is tested here? Which muscle is tested here? We are testing flexor carpi radialis. Okay, here we are testing flexor carpi radialis, and इसका उल्टा हो जाएगा in the flexor carpi ulnaris of the ulnar nerve से जो supply होती है, where on flexion, if there is ulnar nerve injury, on flexion of the wrist will deviate towards the radial side. Okay, that will be the test for the flexor carpi ulnaris for the ulnar nerve palsy. Okay, now this is your pen test. Important नीट PG 2021 में आया था for the median nerve. Now which muscle? Hint इस पिक्चर में दे रखी है. Which muscle is tested? Here you are testing the abduction of the thumb, not the flexion at the PIP of the thumb, like we were testing in that previous test. Okay, so this is your pen test. Okay, so normally if you put a pen like this, and this is your adduction, this is your abduction of the thumb. So if you abduct the thumb, you will able to touch the pen in the normal patient, due to thumb ka abduction is normal, and it is testing which muscle? This is testing the abductor pollicis longus. Okay, very important. NEET PG 2021 में there was a direct question, just the image was given and you need to identify कि किस nerve की test we are doing. Okay, very important, very easy, remember this. Now if there is thenar muscles को supply करता है sorry, median nerve only, thenar muscles is supplied by the median nerve. So which deformity, and this is which deformity? I'm giving you the hint, both are cases of median nerve injury or median nerve palsy. This is your A and this is your B. Claw hand is for the ulnar nerve, not for the median nerve, remember. Especially the picture जो यहाँ पे दी है, this is partial claw hand, not the complete claw hand. Okay, अगर हुआ भी तो. So the A is your ape thumb or ape hand, and B is your benedict sign or hand of benediction. Both in the median nerve. ape hand यहाँ पे atrophy हो जाएगी. So सबसे पहले we'll discuss the thenar muscles, very important. thenar muscles and median nerve की muscles को supply के लिए you can read one thing, that is your lobe. Okay, first is your first and the second lumbricals, and then your thenar muscles. Thenar muscles में you will have the opponens pollicis. Secondly, you will have the abductor pollicis longus, and thirdly you will have the flexor pollicis longus in the thenar muscles. Okay, now benediction hand is seen in case of median nerve, where the thumb, index and the middle finger, they will not be able to flex, especially the index and the middle finger. So this will be your benediction hand. Okay, this will be your benediction hand. Okay, whereas in claw hand is of two types, partial and complete. Partial में there will be injury to only ulnar nerve, whereas in complete there will be injury to ulnar plus median nerve. Okay, and ulnar nerve supplies to the 1.5 fingers, the ring and the little finger. So ulnar nerve agar hoga, so you will not be able to flex these two fingers, or there will be clawing of these two fingers only. This will be your claw hand, partial claw hand, but यहाँ पे you can do it with a voluntary will. Okay, in 3 fingers को you can do with a voluntary will, but not these 2 fingers. So this is the hand. आपको कोई picture दिखा है, so you can have कि यार this is the Benedict sign, but read question carefully, ask the patient कि आप क्या इसको voluntarily ऐसे कर सकते हो. अगर ऐसे कर सकते हो, then this is not the benediction sign, this is partial claw hand, and median nerve be affected है, then there will be complete claw hand. Okay, remember this, this is important. Now which muscle is tested by the test shown? Okay, you are testing the abductor digiti minimi here. You are testing the abductor digiti minimi. Don't get confused with the pad. Pad जो है, that is your palmar interossei for the adduction. there यहाँ पे you there is space between only ring and the little fingers, यानी आप सिर्फ little finger का movement देख रहे हो, whereas in the pad you will check the movement of all the fingers and there will be this card test here. Okay, so remember this is not for the palmar interossei, it is for the abductor digiti minimi. Okay, here you can see this is your Froment sign. Okay, this is your Froment sign, used for which nerve palsy may you use this sign? This is your normal and this is your palsy of which nerve? Here you will have the ulnar nerve testing here. Okay, here you will have the ulnar nerve testing. Okay, I have discussed this claw hand. Okay, now next question is this this is a splint. Okay, and this is okay, नाम मैं बता देता हूँ, this is called as the aeroplane splint. So it is used for which injury? Okay, it is used for which injury? The aeroplane splint like this. So the aeroplane splint is used for the brachial plexus injury. Okay, and that too for the axillary nerve and for the deltoid paralysis, not for the shoulder dislocation or the labral tear. जो भी आपके हमेशा ये याद रख लो, ब्रेसेस या इस टाइप के जो स्प्लिंट्स होते हैं, दे आर यूज फॉर द नर्व इंजरी बिकॉज देयर इज मसल पैरालिसिस, तो उसको सपोर्ट देने के लिए. ओके, सो ब्रेकियल प्लेक्सिस इंजरी में और ब्रेकियल प्लेक्सिस का ही पार्ट है एक्सिलरी नर्व, सो एक्सिलरी नर्व और द डेल्टॉइड पैरालिसिस में यू कैन यूज द एरोप्लेन स्प्लिंट. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज दिस? दिस इज द knuckle bender splint. Okay, so it is used for which nerve palsy? Knuckle bender splint बोलते हैं इसको, and it is used for which nerve palsy? Radial nerve में you have the wrist drop, there is nothing to do with the knuckles or the metacarpal head. Okay, so it is for the ulnar nerve palsy, for the lumbricals के paralysis के लिए, the knuckle bender splint. Okay, now which deformity? Okay, cavus, A option, equinus, B option, calcaneus, C option, or the varus, D option. So the correct answer is very easy, that is your B, equinus. Equinus जैसे घोड़े चलते equinus on the tip. Okay, the equinus deformity, whereas its opposite will be calcaneal deformity, where the patient will walk on the calcaneum with the toes in the upward direction, so that will be a calcaneus deformity. Whereas in the cavus deformity, there will be a very prominent medial crease and your foot will be bent like this. Okay, here you can see this is a equinus deformity. Okay, this is your varus deformity. हमेशा याद रखना है कैसे, valgus में L आता है, यानी that will be your lateral side में deviation and varus में medial side में. So here you can see there is deviation at the medial side, so this is your varus deformity. Okay, very simple. Now here you can see a medial crease very prominent So this is your cavus deformity. Okay, so this is your cavus deformity, adduction or the varus deformity, and equinus we have say this is splaying. Okay, remember image say this is splaying, where the transverse arch is flattened and there is splaying of this uh, toes. Okay, so this is your splaying. Okay, so here you can see ki generally the deformities are called the talipus equinus or the calcaneus or the cavus, whereas most common is your equinovarus. Okay, most common is your equinovarus deformity. Okay, and these are the different types. Here you can see the equinovalgus, calcaneovarus, etc. Okay, so CTEV, that is congenital talipus equinovarus. ओके, नाम से पता चल रहा है कॉन्जेनाइटल है, मोस्टली इडियोपैथिक है. टू इम्पॉर्टेंट रिलेशंस आपको इसमें याद रखने. फर्स्ट इज इट्स रिलेशन विद द स्पाइना बाइफिडा. Okay, first is its relation with the spina bifida, and secondly you need to test for the other nerve injuries or the spinal cord injury. Okay, so यहाँ के इसमें जो clinical features है CTV में, that is the heel will be small but high and more fatty. Okay, deep creases होंगे medially and posteriorly, especially medially due to the cavus deformity, whereas the calf will be thin. Okay, and skin changes, deep crease on the medial side. Okay, shortening of the medial side of the sole, callosities and bursas on the lateral side. Okay, and there are two types of techniques, ponseti and the kites technique. So remember कि CTEV जो होता है, CTV के अंदर the treatment starts just after the birth. If it is identified, you ask the mother that every time go for the breastfeed, just put just keep the foot in the normal anatomical position for the 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, each, and then 15 seconds ka rest, then again for the 15 seconds for the 5 minutes while the patient the child is breastfeeding. Okay, so wahin se hi start ho jata hai. Then you go for the kites or the Ponseti technique. So remember, this Ponseti technique is your choice technique and it is used in the clinical practice. So यहाँ पे Ponseti technique में cavus is corrected first, followed by the adduction or the varus deformity, then the equinus deformity. Cavus and varus are corrected by the serial casting. Okay, and the equinus deformity is corrected by a small surgical procedure which is called as the tenotomy, where you cut the tendon of tendo Achilles. Okay, that is called as the tenotomy. Okay, and in Ponseti technique it is above knee cast and with the knee in flexion by above knee जरूरी है, otherwise there will be movement of the leg, and जो आपने नॉर्मल एनाटॉमिकल पोजीशन में जो कास्ट लगाया है वो अपनी पोजीशन से हट जाएगा. एंड ऑल्सो विद द नी इन फ्लेक्शन वाई टू गिव द रेस्ट to that tendo Achilles, so that जो equinus deformity है वो और ज्यादा extend ना हो. Okay, whereas in the kites technique below knee cast होता है, and firstly cavus is not treated. Firstly the varus deformity is treated, and here in Ponseti every week the cast is changed, the prognosis is good. Okay, एंड अगर इससे भी ठीक नहीं होता, देन यू गो फॉर द PMSTR, दैट इज द पोस्टीरियो मीडियल सॉफ्ट टिश्यू release. Okay, this is your posterior medial soft tissue release, that is your PMSTR. Okay, now the operative mein next, these are for the refractory cases or the cases which are not identified. Okay, so agar 8 to 11 years of age में you identify, then you go for the wedge tarsectomy, and after 11 or 12 years you go for the triple arthrodesis. Okay, remember this age वाली thing, इससे ज़्यादा आपसे नहीं पूछेंगे. Triple arthrodesis in 12 after 11 years, and 8 to 11 years में you will go for the wedge tarsectomy. Okay, now these are the following radiological findings, or the findings that you are seeing in a child with chronic limping of the affected hip. Then what is the diagnosis? Okay, this is my question for you. And here, what are the things? The acetabulum is shallow, capsule is stretched, head is dislocated upwards and laterally, neck is short and anteverted. Okay, ligamentum teres is hypertrophied. Within acetabulum, there is a fibrofatty tissue. Okay, then what is the diagnosis? Yes, the correct answer is your CDS, that is congenital dislocation of the hip. Okay, this is congenital dislocation of the hip, also called as developmental dysplasia of hip, and its incidence is very low in India. Why? Its incidence and prevalence is low in India. Why? Because there is a tendency in the Indian society to keep the child in on the arm, या उसको बोलते हैं गोदी में लेके रखना, child with the like this, the in the lateral aspect of the back you hold the child with the hips abducted. Okay, so they keep the patient in the child in godi, that's why the hip is abducted. So the safe position is the hip in abduction. The hips in abduction prevent the dislocation of the hip. So बच्चों के अंदर, due to this practice, the incidence in India is low. And also there is also one clinical significance of keeping the hip in abduction in the elderly, that is after going a hemiarthroplasty or the arthroplasty, in the initial post-op period, we ask the patient to keep the hips abducted by keeping at least two pillows between both the proximal thighs, so that the hips are abducted to prevent the dislocation of the prosthetic femur head. Okay, so remember this key, hip abduction क्यों important है. It is common in the firstborn child and the femur. जो clinical है, there will be limping, and the treatment depends on the age of the presentation. अगर within 1 year है, then you can go for the close reduction, then maintaining it. And उसके बाद भी है, if there is fibrofatty tissue in the acetabulum, then you have to open reduction and internally fix it with the K wires or the moose pin, etc. Okay, and in detail we will not go today. We are just seeing the what we are just seeing the images. Okay, now CDH में there are 4 tests that you need to remember. First is your Barlow's test, second is your Ortolani test, and third is your Galeazzi test, and fourth is your telescopy test. Okay, now these are the most important, these two, that is the Barlow's and the Ortolani. Remember Barlow में B आ रहा है, so this is bad. Why this is bad? Because firstly you voluntarily dislocate the hip by giving the posterior push. Okay, क्योंकि डिसलोकेशन हिप का पोस्टीरियरली ही होता है मोस्ट कॉमनली, एंड सीडीएच में भी पोस्टीरियर डिसलोकेशन ही होता है. एंड आफ्टर डिसलोकेटिंग द हिप you are relocating. So this is bad test. Whereas in Ortolani is a good test where you just relocate the hip or you just relocate the already dislocated hip and by the anterior pull or the anterior traction. Okay, like this. Here you can see very easily कि बारलों में posteriorly you are dislocating, and in ortolani you are relocating. So remember this, the Barlow's and your ortolani tests are important. Okay, now this is your Galeazzi test. Okay, Galeazzi test mein what you will do, Galeazzi test mein just you will flex the knee in the supine position like this, and normally dono knees are in the same level, but in case of CDH the affected knee will be lower. This is your Galeazzi test, and telescoping test is again for testing the hip dislocation in supine position. Both knee and hip flex at the 90-degree, and you depress the fracture femur posteriorly to see any movement. So if there is free movement by giving the force in the posterior direction, this means that the hip is dislocated. Okay, this is your telescoping test. Okay, and there are very important two splints related to the CDH. You need to remember the name and the images. First is your frog or the Lawrence cast, in which it is 60 degrees flexion, 40 degrees abduction, and 20 degrees of internal rotation. And after 4 to 6 weeks you do the check x-rays etc, and if it is satisfactory then you retain it. And जो थोड़े से बड़े बच्चे होते हैं, and if the CDH is stabilized for few weeks, then you can go for the bachelor's cast like this. This is called as the bachelor's cast. Okay, so नाम याद रखना है, इमेज याद रखनी है, एंड किस में यूज होता है ये याद रखना है, बस दैट विल डू योर पर्पस. तो द फ्रॉग एंड द लॉरेंस कास्ट, like in the image A, and in the image B you are seeing the bachelor's cast. Okay, remember it is also called as the Dennis Brown bar. Remember ये name बहुत important है, also called as the Dennis Brown bar. And another, in newborn babies with CDH you go for the Von Rosen splint. Just remember the image and the name, that is your Von Rosen's splint. Okay, now arthritis पे आएंगे. So first of all, this is the pathology of the arthritis as shown in the image, and there is pannus formation. So this is which arthritis? Okay, my question is, this is which arthritis? This is your rheumatoid arthritis. See, I'm telling you two topics of the orthopedics जिनमें से you will get at least one question from each topic in any type of examinations. Okay, the first is your arthritis. Arthritis में you need to read three important चीजें. Okay, first is your osteoarthritis, second is your rheumatoid arthritis, and basically in दोनों के अंदर differences, and third is your ankylosing spondylitis. This is very important because this year in NEET PG there were three questions from the ankylosing spondylitis. Okay, so this is for the arthritis. And the second topic जिसमें से question आएगा ही आएगा, that is your bone tumors. And in bone tumors again you need to read three things जो हमेशा पूछी जाती है, इनमें से ही क्वेश्चन आता है. फर्स्ट इज योर GCT, second is your osteosarcoma, and third is your Ewing's sarcoma. Okay, you need to remember, you need to revise these three things. Okay, so now coming back to a rheumatoid arthritis. So the basic pathology में difference होता है rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis में, is that rheumatoid arthritis is due to disease or pathology in the synovial membrane or the synovium की hypertrophy leading to the formation of the pannus, and this pannus will destruct the joint. This is your rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, whereas in osteoarthritis the synovium will be normal, the pathology will be in the articular cartilage. Okay, and there will be the thinning and wear and tear of the articular cartilages, जिसकी वजह से the articular surfaces of the bones will expose and they will touch each other, leading to the erosion and the destruction of the joint. So osteoarthritis में the articular cartilages will be involved. There will be no pannus formation. There will be no pannus formation. Okay, remember this thing, this is very very important. So this is the typical presentation of a hand in the late stage of which type of arthritis, in the late stage of which type of arthritis. This is seen in late stages of rheumatoid. This is seen in case of rheumatoid arthritis in the later stages, where you will have what? You will have the Bottomier's deformity of the thumb. We have discussed already कि Bottomier's deformity में क्या होगा? Bottomier's deformity of the thumb, the ulnar deviation at the metacarpophalangeal joint, and the swan neck deformity of the fingers. Okay, and the swan neck deformity of the fingers, this is in the late stages of the rheumatoid arthritis. Whereas in the late stages of the osteoarthritis, okay, late stages of the osteoarthritis, you will have this type of picture. So basic difference जो होगा ये आपको याद रखना है कि in osteoarthritis this metacarpophalangeal joint will never be involved. So, okay, so there will not be any ulnar or radial deviation at the metacarpophalangeal joint. So यहाँ पे you will have two types of nodules. Okay, so at the DIP proximal interphalangeal joint, you will have the Heberden nodes in case of osteoarthritis. This is osteoarthritis. This is osteoarthritis. So osteoarthritis में at the distal DIP you will have the Heberden nodes, whereas उसके पीछे you will have nodes which are called as the Bouchard's nodes. Okay, and here remember कि MCP metacarpophalangeal joints will never be involved, so there will be Bouchard's nodes, Heberden nodes, and distal phalanx में there will be radial deviation. Okay, there will be radial deviation at the distal phalanx. Okay, remember this, this is very important. Okay, this is your osteoarthritis. Okay, or remember यहाँ पे this is your pannus, whereas there is defect in the articular cartilage in case of osteoarthritis, we have discussed already. Okay, these are your rheumatoid nodules. Okay, these are your rheumatoid nodules, and most common site of rheumatoid nodules is your olecranon. Okay, most common site of your rheumatoid nodules is your olecranon. And in foot, if the MTP joint is affected, then the most common deformity will be your hallux valgus deformity, where the great toe will be deviated to the lateral side, that is the valgus side, and hallux is for the great toe or the first metatarso-phalangeal joint. Okay, remember this. This is again very important. Now, super important is your differences between rheumatoid arthritis and the osteoarthritis. Okay, very important is your differentiation between the rheumatoid arthritis and your osteoarthritis. So rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. उससे पहले we need to just have a brief discussion about the osteoarthritis. तो osteoarthritis जो होता है, it is of two types, the primary and the secondary. जो primary होता है, it is most common in elderly population और एज ग्रुप में होता है, सॉरी, एंड इन प्राइमरी देयर विल बी नो एसोसिएटेड बोनी इंजरी और bony lesion. Okay, there will be no bony injury or bony lesion पहले से. So it is a natural phenomena that will be occurring in almost every individual after the 70, at least after the 75 year of the age. Okay, but nowadays, due to the sedentary lifestyle, lesser exercises, and the physical activities and the obesity, etc., this age and the number of population is age group is decreasing after 55 or 60 years में होने लग गया है, and also more and more people are getting affected with the osteoarthritis, whereas the secondary osteoarthritis is in the younger population, which is due to some old bony injury or lesion. So the primary osteoarthritis जो होता है, the onset is slow, whereas here the onset is जल्दी, so it is more progressive. Okay, so remember, so अब अपन जब भी आगे osteoarthritis की बात करेंगे, we will be talking only about the primary osteoarthritis. Okay, now बहुत important is the difference between. So rheumatoid arthritis, it is an autoimmune disease, है ना, autoimmune disease होती है rheumatoid arthritis, where the autoantibodies are formed against the IgG immunoglobulins, and इसमें भी इसके FC part में. Okay, so the antibodies are formed against the IgG. And remember, जो अपन rheumatoid factor blood के अंदर टेस्ट करते हैं, these rheumatoid factor is the autoimmune IgM antibodies directed against the IgG antibodies. We are testing the IgM autoantibodies against the IgG. Okay, remember this thing. This is also very important. Now in you'll see the differences ki rheumatoid arthritis can happen in any age, but the most common age group is between 30 to 50 years of the age, that too in the female. Osteoarthritis is later. Speed of onset we have discussed, rapid and slow. Distribution, now very important. Rheumatoid arthritis जो होगा, it can involve any joint, but it can involve your knee, metacarpophalangeal joint, wrist, any joint, but small joints of the hands and fingers are involved first in rheumatoid arthritis, whereas in osteoarthritis, the weight bearing, the most common and the first joint involved is your knee joint. Okay, and another thing is rheumatoid arthritis में the arthritis will be bilaterally symmetrical and there will be polyarthritis. More than one joints एक बार, more than, not polyarthritis is more than 3 joints or 4 or more joints. Okay, so there will be polyarthritis, bilaterally symmetrical, whereas asymmetrical monoarthritis, then polyarthritis will be your osteoarthritis. Now stiffness, morning stiffness will be there in both case of arthritis, but in rheumatoid arthritis it will be prolonged, whereas it will be less than 1 hour and less worse in case of osteoarthritis. And systemic symptoms like fever, fatigue, night sweats, there it will be there in case of rheumatoid arthritis, because it is a systemic disease. Okay, it is a systemic disease. And remember कि rheumatoid arthritis जो होता है, rheumatoid arthritis में the PIP, MCP, all joints will be involved, and DIP will is involved very rarely, remember. Whereas in osteoarthritis, metacarpophalangeal joint is never involved, whereas DIP is involved. Okay, remember this. Now, which is this test? It is used to test a pathology in the sacroiliac joint. Okay, so identify the test that is done. Okay, it is used to identify pathology at the sacroiliac joint, where the patient lies supine on table with both knees flexed on the chest, and the testing knee or the buttock is out of the edge of the table. So which is this test? Okay, this is your Ganslin's test. Okay, this is your Ganslin's test for the ankylosing spondylitis. Okay, for the ankylosing spondylitis. Okay, so remember, I always tell you that ankylosing spondylitis naam aane se two things should click your mind automatically. The first is it is HLA-B27 positive, and secondly, bamboo spine or the dagger sign, where there will be bony ankylosis of the entire spine. Okay, bony ankylosis of the entire spine. Entire spine will be, vertebral column will be fused, so there will be stiffness. And the first or the most common joint that is affected is your sacroiliac joint. That is your sacroiliac joint. Okay, and एक और important चीज that you need to remember is its characteristic pain. Pain is severe, and you need to take the NSAID throughout your life. Most common presentation is very important, because इस साल जो question आए थे उसमें diagnosis में that presentation की age was very important. Between 20 to 30 males are the most common affected. 20 to 30 years के बीच में मेल्स आर द मोस्ट कॉमन अफेक्टेड. ओके, नाउ इसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक पेन जो होता है, दैट इज द पेन विल इंक्रीज और एग्रीवेट while resting. पीआईवीडी या फिर डिस्क हर्निएशन का जस्ट ऑपोजिट टाइप का पेन होता है. सो द पेन विल इंक्रीज व्हाइल रेस्टिंग और स्लीपिंग. दैट्स व्हाई मॉर्निंग स्टिफनेस और मॉर्निंग स्लीप या फिर स्लीप पूरी नहीं हो पाती. पेशेंट जनरली कंप्लेन्स कि आई कैन नॉट स्लीप ड्यू टू द पेन और आई अवेक ड्यू टू द पेन. Okay, so this is the common presentation ki the pain will increase on resting or sleeping, and the pain will decrease while doing any work or doing any activity. While doing any work or doing any activity. Now, ankylosing spondylitis में you will have systemic features साथ में. Okay, you can have the reactive uveitis of the eye, the reactive arthritis of the knee joint, or the इस साल जो क्वेश्चन आया था उसमें they were given bilateral heel pain यानी reactive arthritis of the ankle joint. And you can have the reactive urethritis. Okay, इसके अलावा it is generally associated with the ulcerative colitis. Okay, it is associated with the ulcerative colitis also. So these are the systemic things. Okay, now which is this? Okay, there is fracture of the talus, communicated fracture of the talus and the navicular etc. And here is the picture, and let me give you history. There is numbness and tingling sensation at the affected foot, that is your left foot, that is the affected, then what is the diagnosis? Okay, so here it is called as the Charcot's foot. Okay, Charcot's foot or neuropathic foot बोलते हैं इसको. Okay, now what is this? This is a typical osteoma. Okay, so we'll discuss the rest of the slides in the next session. आज का session बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, 1 hour 50 minutes. Okay, and we will not be able to complete, like there are around 70-80 slides more, and I will add more. So we'll take another 2 hour session regarding these. Image based. Okay, so I hope you liked today's class. Okay, so if you like the class, please like, share and subscribe. After watching my other classes of this special class and the YouTube also, we'll continue this. I'll make a part 2 of the image based session on the orthopedics. Okay, so thanks for watching my class. INICT and FMG वाले अच्छे से पढ़ाई करो. 20 days competition will be less, पेपर विल बी कंसेप्चुअल, कुछ उल्टा फुल्टा हाई फाई नहीं पूछेंगे. जस्ट डू lots and lots of MCQs and lots of previous years papers. And remember, हाई फाई पेपर सॉल्व नहीं करने हैं. यू जस्ट नीड टू गो फॉर द बेसिक थिंग्स. अगर कोई आपको बोले कोई भी पेपर ऐसा हो जिसमें आपको कुछ भी समझ ही नहीं आ रहा, या कोई ऐसी चीज हो कि आपको कुछ दिखी मतलब समझ ही नहीं आ रहा कि ये चीज क्या है, या फिर आपने कभी नहीं पढ़ा है, डोंट सॉल्व दैट पेपर, या फिर उसकी टेंशन बिल्कुल ही नहीं लेना है. क्योंकि इट्स फॉर श्योर कि वही चीज आजकल के पेपर में, बीट एनी टाइप ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन, वही चीज आपसे पूछेंगे जो एटलीस्ट आपने कभी ना कभी पढ़ रखी है. यू कैन सी द नीट पीजी 2021 और द 2020 और द INICT ऑफ द 2021 के फर्स्ट सेशन वाली भी, ऑल क्वेश्चंस वर फ्रॉम द सिंपल टॉपिक्स जो आपने कभी ना कभी पढ़े हैं. Okay, so remember this, follow this, prepare well. Okay, so see you tomorrow. I am having a special class on the most important high yielding MCQs regarding pediatric orthopedics. Okay, so let's see you tomorrow in the special class only. Okay, bye bye, thank you, thanks for watching, good night.